everyone. Hey. Hello. What's up? Hello. I was not sure if I was going to be recording this video, so I came down with either a really bad cold or the flu. Probably not the flu, because I think it would be worse than this, but I've been feeling really poorly all weekend, and then today it kind of like hit its peak. But since I've been like in and out of sleep most of the day, and I've taken Tylenol, I've eaten and hydrated, and I'm like, dang, I gotta have a second wind. So I figured I would read part 3 of my romantic cabin getaway. If this is your first time tuning into this series, I would recommend starting at part 1 because you're not gonna really know what's happening, but you do you, boo. Okay, so I'm actually gonna look it up. Okay, I swear the people that live above me must like fucking bowl, like they're bowling and then throwing bricks on the ground over and over again. Like that's what it sounds like all hours of the night. It makes me so mad. Okay, what was I saying? Oh, so I'm actually looking the story up on my laptop because I've been printing them, but then I realized, oh, this is 16 parts. That's like a lot to print. I don't know. I didn't think it through. So, okay. I got my nice fluffy pillow. So fluffy. Okay, so I'm just going to... Okay, so it's my... I don't know if you guys can hear the creaking, but I don't know, kind of adds a little oomph. Okay, my romantic cabin getaway part, part 3, Reddit, no sleep. Alright, here we go. Okay. Part 3 of my romantic cabin getaway with my fiance isn't going exactly as planned. Okay. Alright, it's taking, hold on. Part 3. We're getting there. Okay. So, that night, we sat down with Faye's mom, Laura, in her bedroom while her dad was watching the news downstairs. Her mom was so upset at the stories we told her. Hold on. Okay. Her mom was so upset at the stories we told her. I mean, she was visibly disturbed to the point of being in tears. She kept apologizing to Faye and hugging her. Laura told us that they'd purchased that cabin from their good friend, Jennifer, I think, who moved to Nevada about 20 years ago, and that Jennifer and her husband had complained about all sorts of weird experiences while living there. Her husband, Tom, like myself, was fond of hiking and exploring. And exploring the woods, and collected tons of arrowheads and other neat trinkets he'd found on his travels around Pikes Peak. But Jennifer started having dreams about Tom being dragged off into the woods from their bedroom. She had all kinds of horrific nightmares about him being skinned and pinned up in the trees like some kind of macabre artwork. Wow. Jennifer said that while Tom was at work, she would occasionally hear the voice of her daughter, who died in childhood of some kind of bone cancer, calling Mommy from the edge of the forest. Jennifer's doctor doctors claimed it was the medication she was on and changed her meds. Tom got a new job in Las Vegas, and they basically noped out of there. That's funny. I like that. On a lighter note, Tom hung himself in the garage 2 years ago after they moved. No note or anything. Whoa, I was not expecting that. Anyway, Laura, Faye's mom, and Greg, Faye's dad, only used the cabin as a getaway in summers. Laura never experienced anything beyond weird feelings while she was there, and she chalked that up to all of the crazy stories Jennifer had told her. Greg, however, who suffers from PTSD-related nightmares, occasionally experienced exacerbated sleep disturbances in the cabin. Over the years, he became reluctant to go there and claimed that all of the things he'd seen in Vietnam came back to him when he slept there. Okay, I need to take a sip of a drink. I always have something to drink when I'm doing this, but tonight, I have this Arnold Palmer Light. This is like, I've been drinking these all the time now. They taste so good, so I'm just gonna do that. My throat's a little dry. Gosh. And then I had a cup, but I don't know where it went. Ah. There we go. I'm also one of those people, I can have like a little bit of caffeine at night and still fall asleep fine. I fall asleep super easily. Like, I was convinced, my friends and I were convinced at one point that I had narcolepsy because I would fall asleep all the time. But anyways, that's another story. Okay, alright, so where were we? Okay, so he claimed that all the things he'd seen at Vietnam came back to him when he slept there. Allegedly, some of the people he saw get killed would come back and talk to him in his dreams at that cabin. The last time he stayed there, he woke up in a dream to find a few of them sitting in his bedroom with him, maimed, rotted, etc. He privately maintained to Laura that he also heard their voices in the forest, crying, begging, screaming for their mothers. Oh, and guess what time he always heard them? Laura told us that she honestly did not believe there was anything really wrong with the cabin. Faye was extremely pissed and let her have it. They kind of ended our visit on a bad note. Later that night, I was up reading, and Faye was sleeping next to me. She always falls asleep before me. That girl could fall asleep on a pile of rocks. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, that's really creepy. I was just talking about the fact that I have narcolepsy. I don't have narcolepsy. The fact that my friends thought I had narcolepsy, and what the... Okay, this is literally my life, guys, where I'll say something and then the exact same thing I said is either repeated or it happens like a couple minutes later, hours later. I don't know, I think I have some like psychic abilities. I actually think I do. Okay. And that's another story time. Okay. But it's always about random shit. It's never like, you know, I can't sit there and be like, oh, you know, I can't demand it to happen. It just happens. And it's always about things that are important, but not like life-altering, if that makes sense. Okay, I need to take a mental note. I gotta do a story time on that. Okay, back to the story. Alright. And guess what time he always heard them? Okay. Laura told us that she honestly did not believe there's anything wrong with the cabin. Faye was extremely pissed and let her have it. They kind of ended our visit on a bad note. Later that night, I was up reading and Faye was sleeping next to me. She always falls asleep before me. That girl could fall asleep on a pile of rocks. She started mumbling in her sleep, so I listened carefully, and here are a few things I heard her say. Never, never, no I wouldn't. On the mountain. I can't. Why? His name. We don't know you. No, it's Felix. My name. So the guy who's writing it, his name is Felix. About 2 hours later, she woke me up by nudging me in her sleep and saying, "Tell the man in the hall to leave." They set me over the edge, so I got to go to the bathroom and get some water. I didn't find anything strange. Had a very hard time falling asleep, though. The morning we heard back from the guy who went up to the cabin to check for gas leaks, carbon monoxide, at the behest of a few scrupulous Redditors. That was a tongue twister. The guy mentioned that radon is a really big problem in some of these old places in the mountains. He's some kind of super badass handyman with all kinds of equipment, so he wrangled up one of the peak rangers and they went up to the place together. Apparently there were tracks all over the house, a dozen pairs of them, like a large group of people had been wandering around looking in the windows. All of the windows and doors were sealed the way we left them. When they got inside, some stuff was moved around. The silverware drawer was emptied onto the kitchen floor and turned upside down. The power was completely dead. The weirdest thing was that there was water all over the bed and on the floor, but our guy checked for leaks in the ceiling and the bathroom pipes. Nothing. Nothing had been stolen from the house. Nothing had been stolen from the house, not even food. Some of the old clothes in the bedroom closet were strewn on the ground, but nothing stolen, like maybe someone was trying them on or smelling them. The ranger said that there were legends about the mountain, something about things that sort of act like people, but they come out of the old abandoned mines. Greg's friend couldn't remember the name the ranger gave them. It was in the native language. I asked Greg to ask the ranger about the sounds I heard, specifically the wachu wachu, wole mai, and he said it's a recognizable chant, but he doesn't know what it means. Does anyone here have any idea? No radon, no carbon monoxide, and no gas. He checked for mold, but said it was unlikely there would be any all the way up there. He did say it's possible that there's some kind of electrical problem, and that this can sometimes cause people to feel very unsettled and maybe have hallucinations. He has some kind of Geiger account or a gadget that detects issues like this, but it was broken when he tried to use it. I'm going to keep an eye on Faye. She's still shaken up about this. If there's anything left to report, I'll let you know. Update 4/11/2016. We have begun hearing voices outside our home. Faye is really upset and feels that I might have exacerbated these strange circumstances by giving them widespread exposure online. I'm going to go dark for a few days and see if that helps. Don't worry about us. We have a few close friends looking out for us. They know the entire story. And then there's like a line to indicate a pause. Hi everyone, I want to make a quick update as promised because Faye and I are flying back to California shortly. Faye is back to normal, feeling great. I watched her eat a huge plate of chicken parmesan yesterday. The first thing I should mention is that Faye's father was very reluctant to talk about the cabin or the weird experiences we'd had there. He kept trying to change the subject and was generally in a bad mood, which is pretty normal for him. He's a really grumbly Vietnam vet and has been in the army since he was young. Oh, they're bowling again. His personality is exactly the way you'd imagine it. Faye asked him bluntly. I swear to God, they're bowling. Swear to gosh. Faye asked him bluntly, if something is wrong with that cabin, why would you let us go up there in the first place? Yeah. And his response was, talk to your mother. is going on? Why do you think Faye's dad, you know, let them go? That's a great point. There's a lot to unpack. Alright guys, I'm going to sign